going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend is finally over, and the stress test should be done for Xdefiant. They might go ahead and extend it. I don't know. But from the information they gave us, it's going to be ending on Sunday, so it's pretty much finished up. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I had a really good time. I did. But the community, on the other hand, has been just absolutely shocked when it comes to what they went ahead and played. Funny enough, something that I've been hearing quite frequently is, what the heck has happened to Xdefiant? You know, what happened to this game? And you know what? Today, like I said, I want to summarize the 3-day experience here and give my 2 cents on just how the community really took in this stress test. And honestly, I kind of feel bad for the developers overall. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget, we post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And we mostly talk about Call of Duty, but of course, when Xdefiant drops, I'm going to be covering every last bit of information. So if you guys are interested in anything about Xdefiant, subscribe and hit that bell so you can stay notified on absolutely everything. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do that pretty much daily as well, besides Sundays over on Kick. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video, and that stream usually goes live around 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, we got ourselves a stress test, a server stress test for the weekend. I played every single day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to go ahead and get the overall full experience because, you know, I personally feel that you need to put some time in to see how the experience actually is. But my initial mindset going into the stress test is that this is literally going to be just like any other beta, any other stress test, any other, you know, form of play test, you know, that I've played in my previous years. They all are buggy. They all have problems. I'm not expecting that to be resolved right here, right now. I'm expecting that to be the problem. I'm expecting it to be an issue so we can give feedback and then they can polish it off for the final build because that's the purpose of a server stress test. Right? So that's what I came into this with the mentality of. And honestly, I've been telling a lot of people, don't even bother. Don't hop into this whatsoever if you're expecting to, you know, be playing a demo. And that's the main problem here. I think a lot of people expected when they hopped into this stress test here to be playing a demo. They thought that the developers or Ubisoft are releasing something like Call of Duty where they just want you to play it to advertise and get you hyped up for the game when this stress test is anything but that. Right? All the tests for Xdefiant are anything but that. They might have had one test where it was revolved around, you know, building up some hype for the game. But every single test they have done for this game has been to further improve the quality of the product. And that has always been their end goal. Don't rush the game, put out tests every so often, get feedback, fix issues, and then put out a full-fledged out game. And to me personally, that's hilarious because that's what, you know, we, the Call of Duty community, have been begging for ages now. For them to stop releasing yearly products. For them to be able to take their time with games. And when they put out a beta, it's not just something that is supposed to be a demo. You know what I call Call of Duty's betas. You know, they're just glorified demos at that point. They're meant to advertise, not really fix. Over half the stuff that we complain about is never resolved when it comes to Call of Duty after the beta, right? Modern Warfare 3 is an exception. They've been doing really good with that. Sledgehammer has been nailing it, but betas have always been known just to get people in and get, you know, word of mouth. Start spreading the name that a new Call of Duty is coming out. You could try it out. The open beta is here. Give it a shot. See if you like it, so on and so forth. And then you go ahead and buy the full product. We've been begging for this cycle to end, and we have a game where they are gladly taking their time. And every single time there are some issues that are willing to take it back, rework, put out more tests, take it back, rework, put out some more tests until the game is officially good to go. You know, we have something that we've been asking for, and now the community is extraordinarily salty. And I get it. I understand people are growing impatient. But like I said before, if you were hopping into the stress test expecting it to be a demo, something that you can hop on and enjoy and make up your mind if it's a good game or a bad game, this was the worst test you could possibly hop into because it's a server stress test. We're stress testing the servers. There's going to be plenty of problems when it comes to hit detection, the net code, getting shot around corners, walls, bullets, ghosting. It happens all the time. But again, as you see in this gameplay, you also get tons of games where it's spot on. You know, your shots are connecting. And the reason that is because, again, we're stress testing, you know, we're testing out the server. So it's going to be iffy here and there. But we're doing this so afterwards they can go behind the scenes, further polish, and we can get a final product. But like I said before, if you hopped into this expecting it to be something to help you decide if this is the game that you're really going to be grinding out, I'm sorry to say, this isn't, the whole purpose. It isn't the point. And it's rough for the developers because, instead of getting good feedback, they're just getting a bunch of people yelling at them about, the netcode being crappy and, shots not registering and all this stuff and how the game, all this time, and it's still this bad. And they were expecting so much more. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what are you guys expecting? Seriously, what were we expecting out of Xdefiant? This is the same exact game that I played before. I liked it before. I like it now. No differences in my personal opinion. Again, I just feel like people want the product, and I understand. But patience is key when it comes to titles like this. And if the game launches and we still have these problems, yes, then we have a huge issue. Yes, the rants will come. Yes, we'll discuss it. But while we're in this phase, this has been something that I've been asking for ages here. If I were to complain about this, it would be hypocritical because I've been saying it every single year with Call of Duty. Every single one of these COD drops, you could probably go back on my channel and find 2 to 3, probably more videos of me saying that I really wish that they would just take some time in between and stop rushing these products out. One of my top tweets is about that as well. Put Call of Duty on a 2-year cycle and give it a little bit more time. Like, I've been begging for this to happen, and we're finally getting it to happen. I can't imagine myself really talking down on such activities, Like I said, it's the same game. I enjoy it. The only problems, which I agree, are the netcode. Bullets are ghosting. We have problems across the board, but it's to be expected. Report it, right? And we'll fix it up, hopefully, and we'll get a better product. But that was the whole point of this test. They even had a long message in the beginning of the game saying, look, this is, this is a work in progress, right? It's going to be problems, it's going to be issues. And it was so funny to me because every time you load up the game, you can't skip past it. They won't allow you to skip past it, and it lasts so long. It just sits there in front of your face. They're like forcing you to read it. They want you to know that it's a work in progress and that it's going to be problems, and people still go into this stress test with the expectations that it's like a full blown out game that's ready to be shipped. But when it comes to problems, yes, like I said, I can acknowledge them all. The hit detection still, bullets ghosting, getting shot around corners, all those were relevant. Things like the grenade hitboxes being back to how they were before, like pumpkins, and you chuck them and they hit random surfaces. Certain factions going permanently invisible and you can't see them. We had some fair share of issues, we did, but all of them have been reported. All of them have been acknowledged, and that's pretty much it. Although I will say, I wish they would touch upon the special abilities a little bit more. I feel like they're just a little crazy. I don't know. They could be fine, but I think stacking is what becomes an issue. When you have like 4 or 5 phantoms all rocking, shields, not the carry shields, like, the deployable shields that you put down, you can use as actual cover on both ends, okay? You can literally maneuver the shield both ends and use it as cover, and you have 4 to 5 of those things, and all of them have 120 HP. It becomes a bit tedious, and same thing goes for a lot of other special abilities as well. I feel like it should be sort of limited almost, to maybe, a couple. Maybe one of the abilities could have 2 people rocking it, but mostly you see 1 person picking a specialist across the board, and yes, it'll become tedious because sometimes you won't be able to play with who you want to play as, but I feel like that is a fair trade-off for having just a whole team spamming a certain special ability and being really obnoxious doing so. But again, that's realistically it. My biggest confusion out of this whole scenario is how people are coming in and saying that they loved this game. This game was phenomenal, one of the best shooters ever made a year ago. And we're fast forwarding to current date, and now it's apparently the worst game ever. And everything about it is horrible now. I don't get it. I just truthfully don't, because it's the same exact game to me, and all the problems that occurred in the stress test were expected. It's the same game. And once the hit detection is fixed, and once it's smooth and you're not getting shot around corners, I feel like all those complaints are going to just fly out the window. That's literally just it. People are angry that they are, dying to unfair ways when, again, they're hopping into a stress test expecting it to be a fun experience when that's not the point of a stress test. And I'm not talking about people who are sitting on the fence with this game or didn't even care for this game in the first place. That's fine because you don't care for the game or you didn't really, enjoy it in, like I said, what you played. But for individuals who said this is just outstanding and then switching opinions because one, is taking too long to drop, and two, they're hopping into a stress test and it's not performing that fantastic, I just don't simply get it. I think that this was pretty successful for a stress test, this 3-day period. I think they got a lot of work done, and I feel like they're going to be able to take this information, go behind the scenes, and really polish off this product to get it out the door because it's in a pretty good spot. It really is. And, honestly, as long as something doesn't bust dramatically behind the scenes, I truthfully don't think it's going to be extended much further. Do I think it's still going to be time? Maybe a month or two, maybe even a bit longer? Yeah, it's still going to be some time until it launches, but I don't think we're going to be seeing like a year plus. And if we are, yeah, that definitely sucks. But I'll be here waiting for it. I don't mind because I'm not looking for a COD destroyer. Yeah, we might title videos that way or try to tap into the algorithm with stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just looking for an alternative, another FPS arcade-style game because there are none, right? That's literally the only reason I want this game to go ahead and drop, to have variety in this genre. But ladies and gentlemen, please go down in the comments section and leave your opinions on how you feel about the stress test. What was your experience like? Did you run into any other, issues? Or, what I listed was pretty much it. Grenades, invisible characters. I know there was crouch spamming as well, which was pretty bad. But Mark Rubin already acknowledged that and said that's, being worked on. And the only reason it's functioning right now and people can do it is because they took out the feature to do a little work on it. So, pretty much everything I could possibly think of has been acknowledged. But again, if you find something that's different that hasn't been acknowledged yet, leave down in the comments section. You never know. As much information as we can get is only going to be better. But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you are interested in more content, I stream pretty much daily over on Kick. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next one. Peace out.